Martin here. Very excited to bring you the first, hopefully, of many Legacy League matches on Magic Online. Today is the premiere of the League. For anyone who doesn't know, the League tournament system is basically where you sign up, you pay an entry fee to sign up, and you're guaranteed to play 5 rounds. And then I think the price structure is break even at 3-2. And you still get something at 2-3 and even at 1-4, I think. Not sure if you get anything for 0-5. Hopefully that won't come up. But the actual really cool thing about the league is that you can take it one match at a time. So you can play one match and then you can come back a week later, and if you won the first match, you're 1-0, so you'll say I'm ready to join the league again, and you'll get paired up against someone else who's 1-0 and who's also looking for a match. So that means that we can spread out these matches and not, like, contrary to like a daily, you don't have to tie yourself down for like 3 hours in like one block and in one sitting. So for someone like me, at least, that's really advantageous, and I'm psyched about that. And we've been asking for a league. There's been like Modern and Standard League for like ever, and we've been asking for the Legacy League, and they've finally given it to us, so that's really awesome. Alright, so we sign up with our deck, and then once we've signed up, our deck is locked in. We can't change anything. So this is the list I'm running. My main deck is the same as it's been for a good little while. We got the 8/12 cantrips. We've got 6 discard spells, 8 rituals. Not running the Rain of Filth anymore. Opted for the 4th Cabal ritual. I see some people that run 8 rituals and then a Rain of Filth, but I haven't done that. Yeah, 6 tutors. We've got 4 Infernal Tutors and a Grim Tutor and a Dark Petition. Double Tendrils of Agony, double Vast and Flames, and Empty the Warrants. Our mana base is fairly standard, and we've got the 8 artifact stones. Our sideboard is somewhat unchanged from what I've been playing lately. I've opted to keep at it with the Sphinx of the Final Word, even though I'm not sure if that actually merits itself in the board. And to complement that, we've got a couple of Pithing Needles to shut down Cincy's Divining Top and protect it against Terminus. Plus, Pithing Needle on top is just generally great. The trick can be to actually resolve it if they have a counterbalance down, but whatever. One change I've made is I've added a Hercules Recall at the cost of the Singleton Carpet of Flowers I was running. And this is pretty much a concession to the new Eldrazi Menace, as I like to call it. It remains to be seen whether or not this deck is actually going to break through into Tier 1 in Legacy. But from all I can tell, it most definitely will. It's just a matter of like the next big tournament, which is, I think, a couple of weeks from now in Philadelphia. A friend of mine has been playing it here in Denmark, and some other people I talk to online have been playing it in the States, and from all I can tell, it's real. So it wasn't just in Modern. Turns out, if you print like 6 undercosted creatures and into a shell that has 19, 20 lands that tap for 2 instead of 1, that's pretty busted. So, and that deck runs 4 main deck Chalice of the Void and 4 more hate pieces, either Trinisphere or a Thorn of Amethyst. If it ends up becoming Tier 1, then, like, I don't know what's going to happen. Some people are speculating it will push out Miracles. So we don't really know what's going to happen. I will say, though, I've always maintained that if Mud was ever Tier 1, then Storm was not the place to be. So, and this deck is, as far as we're concerned, more or less like Mud. Slightly less hateful in that they're not running for Lowstone Golem on top of their Chalices and Trinispheres, but then they're running like Thought-Knot Seer that gets to exile a card from her hand. So it's in all likelihood a terrible matchup, but I haven't tried it yet. Anyway, guys, let's kick this off. I'm gonna go sign up for a match in the league. See how long the wait is. Maybe I should have done that while I was yapping about the about the deck list. All right, we have been paired for a league match. Let's see what we see. Whoa. We're on the draw here. We probably shouldn't keep this. Yeah, no, we're not keeping this for sure. So we get to, if we keep this, we get to scry one, and then get a draw step and a probe to draw us into a land for a somewhat decent position. They've kept 7. I think if we mulligan down to 5, it becomes quite a bit like, yeah, I don't know. I think we keep this. If we couldn't scry, we probably wouldn't keep it. Yeah, that goes to the bottom. So we have to hope that there's a land on top in the top 2 cards. Oh, and we're up against Elves, which is normally a great matchup, or like a very fine matchup. Okay, we have a Delta. That's awesome. So we don't get, like, we aren't going to get killed on turn 2 with this opening from Elves. So we can try and save our stuff to get like a card deeper next turn. I guess it might not even really matter. We're not doing anything on turn 1 except if we hit like, I mean, then we'd have to really take a chance. We'd have to probe into, or probe and brainstorm into like brainstorm that shows us Dark Ritual and Lines Out Diamond and stuff, but that's not happening. I think we just ship the turn, keep them guessing on what we're on. So turn, like game 1, Elves' only means of interacting is Deathrite Shaman, and since they didn't play one on turn 1, we don't have to worry about like that for at least until we get our 3rd turn. And we're not running the ad nauseam build, so them attacking us doesn't really hurt us. Let's see what they're up to. Like post board, they get to bring in a lot of stuff like discard spells and sometimes hate pieces like Thorn of Amethyst. There was a time once when Elves would run a main deck Rurik Thar to hate on Storm. I think that's in the past now. Okay, well, let's probe them and see how close we are to dying on next turn if we don't do something. And they are thinking, or possibly have gone to the bathroom. I don't know what they have to think about. Okay, so they have a forest, a glimpse, a green sun, and a Rex Sage. So depending on what they draw next turn, what they're likely to do is play out the forest, greens on X being 2, and getting like visionary to start going like bouncing with their wirewood, but nothing there is like too harmful for us. So I think we, I don't know, maybe we probe again. At this point, I'm not sure it really matters with our life total. They're gonna fetch end of turn, get Dried Arbor. So if they draw natural order next turn, we're in trouble, I think. Not sure if they can find a way to generate the extra mana. They might need both Dried Arbor, both Natural Order and Cradle. Maybe our opponent is double queued, I don't know. Like, a potential reason to save Probe is if we... I was gonna say if we get to hit, like, find LED, we could Brainstorm Bag or Infernal Tutor. I guess if we don't find it, I don't know. Well, like, if we want to Brainstorm Bag something and then Probe into it, but I don't, like, Empty the Warrens, but Empty the Warrens is so weak against Elves. I think we just burn the Probe, get a card deeper with our Brainstorm. I don't mind that. I think odds are against them killing us next turn, and that means if we don't find a kill now, hopefully we'll be set up pretty well to, like, with this Brainstorm. My goodness, they're taking their sweet time. They're probably double queued. Come on. I can't even see my opponent's name right now because Magic Online puts this graphic upon what, like, the avatar that's being targeted. Oh wait, or can I? Can I somehow get it to disappear? Oh, by holding the cursor over a card. Come on, Cyber Bobo. Okay, Probe resolves. Fast and Flames. That's neat. Come on, Brainstorm. Show us the goodies. While our opponent thinks for another minute. Whoa. Okay, so that's kind of awkward. So we're not really getting away from being stuck with either. Oh, this is really bad, actually. We're not doing anything for 2 turns because next turn all we can do is cast Dark Ritual and Infernal Tutor to shuffle, which means we'll have to draw one of the cards. So, like, if I put back, I think I want Empty the Warrens and this Past in Flames the least. So I'll put back Empty the Warrens and then Past in Flames, but then I have to draw Past in Flames, waste a Dark Ritual. I think we've just lost this game, which is unfortunate, because they would have to seriously stumble, which I don't think will happen. So that's too bad. So play Glimpse. That must mean they've drawn an elf. Okay, no, they're just attacking us. Yeah, okay, they drew an elf. They have a force in hand. I hope it's not or Heritage Druid or Quarian Ranger. Symbiote, okay. I guess Heritage Druid wouldn't even be that critical at this point, because they're short on elves, on actual elves. Well, there's a Deathrite. That's unfortunate. So let's see, next turn they can swing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, drainers for 2, bring us down to 3. Oh, they have another, they'll bring us down to 1. What are we even playing for right now? They can bounce stuff to untap the Arbor and play that again. That's not adding to the clock right now, but it is giving them more cards in hand. If they can get to second black source, they have lethal next turn. They've drawn a bunch of cards, so all they need to do is hit like a fetch land. Suppose we could just not go any further to not reveal that we're on Storm, just concede now. I mean, it's probably pretty obvious that we're on Storm. Or we're like the world's slowest Delver deck. I think they are putting us on combo regardless, and I think their plan to fight combo is pretty uniform, even like if it's Storm or some combo brew that this might be. Let's see, if we Dark Ritual now and Infernal Tutor to get like another Cabal Ritual, the last one, then we pass the turn. They swing for 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, you know what? They bounced their Nettle Sentinel, so they swing for 4, drain us for 2. We're down to 1. We're down to 4. We then draw a Brainstorm. That's, I think, our only out. To get to, we need like a land and a Dark Ritual off that Brainstorm to even have a chance. Probably also an LED. We need Brainstorm shows land / petal, Dark Ritual, LED. That are out. Because if we don't do anything now, we just, I guess we could not have done anything. No, then we draw the empty the warrens, and then we have to pass turn again, and then we're dead. So they actually get to ping us twice with 1 Deathrite, even if they don't find another black mana source, because they can untap the Deathrite with Wirewood. So they can use Deathrite, exile land, untap it, use the mana for black. Okay. I will reveal a Cabal Ritual. Oh man, that Brainstorm really messed us up. They could also just kill us now. I mean, that's probably even like a bit more likely of a scenario than us even getting a turn. Well, our opponent is either just not paying attention due to doing something else, or they are trying to figure out if they have a win in hand. There's a Cradle. So they just need to, there's no need to do any of this if they have access to Craterhoof one way or another. They have a Zenith in hand, so can't they just like, I can just Deathrite. Yeah, make 9 mana, Zenith for 8. Well, it's not very nice of you, Mr. Elves player. Alright, we're dead. Concede. Okay, on to the sideboard. Let's see if we can steal this. I don't like our position now at all, obviously, being down the game. We really want to win game one, because it seems likely that they will get at least one of the post-board games. So we'll bring in Ad Nauseam and Chain of Vapor. We'll bring out Empty the Warrants. We'll bring out Grim Tutor. We probably, like, ideally want to bring out something else, like one of the high casting cost spells, like a Path in Flames #2 seems not that well. I guess they're running a lot of discard actually. You know what? I'm gonna try something crazy here. I'm gonna bring out the Dark Petition and bring in a Pithy Needle to name Deathrite Shaman. Seems very loosey-goosey, but it also lowers our converted mana cost. We would love to be on the play. And so we keep this, even though, like, we're not really getting anywhere on turn 2 even, because Cabal Ritual plus 2 lands plus Lionside Diamond is only 7 mana, or sorry, 6 mana. So we need to, like, yeah, but we're keeping. I think we'll actually, what we'll do here is, let's just see if they're also keeping a 7 hand. Sorry, a hand of 7. So what we'll do is we'll play out Trop and LED. We'll play out the LED because if they have it like a Thoughtseize, we can brainstorm, and like right now we have at least 3 cards we want to hide. And if we play out the LED, that's 1 less card, and they aren't doing anything to the LED for at least turn 2 at the earliest, but that would require like Green Suns into Dried Arbor into Reclamation Sage, which I guess is not impossible, but I think we do that anyways. Let's see. Oh, and here I am saying I'm going to do something and just clicking through. Great. Never mind. Therapy is annoying. Okay. Okay, so look, basically we have to hope that like, if they don't hit, we will win. Probably. We'll get to Ad Nauseam anyways from 19 life. So what I want to do here is think, like, they can hit the Cabal Ritual, but they're not going to name Cabal Ritual. They're going to name one of either Dark Ritual, Infernal Tutor, or Lionside Diamond, with a very, very slight chance of saying Tendrils if they have Surgical Extraction in hand, but I don't think we can afford to play around that. We don't have a Dark Ritual, so if they name that, it's great. If they name one of the other 2, that basically, I think, means we can't afford to put back 1 of each. We have to put back 2 of one of them and hope they name that one. And I think strategically for us here, we want them to name Infernal Tutor, because we don't want 2 Infernal Tutors banned anyways. What sucks here is if we'd actually played out the Lionside Diamond, then we put back 2 Infernal Tutors, and there's little chance of them naming Lionside Diamond, I think. So we put back 2 Infernal Tutors, hope they don't name LED. The problem is they probably will figure that we will hide the most valuable card, and most people seem to value Infernal Tutor higher. So they're likely to name something other than Infernal Tutor, and that's Lionside Diamond or Dark Ritual. So let's hope it's Dark Ritual. And it is. Fantastic. Okay. Let's hope they don't have like a Surgical Extraction in hand, or like a Mindbreak Trap. I've randomly been Mindbreak trapped by an Elves player before. So we'll play these two out and then play the Cabal Ritual. Hope that if they like have Mindbreak Trap, they'll use it then. They don't. So are we winning from just purely from a Past in Flames here? If we go for Past in Flames, we'll have 7 mana floating, and we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards in the graveyard. 9 with Past in Flames, 3 mana floating. Cabal Ritual makes it 6 mana. Yeah, we just win with Past in Flames. We don't have to get ad nauseam. So we win if they don't have like graveyard shenanigans. Graveyard interacting shenanigans. Good an Infernal Tutor. So Storm is currently 7. So we'll get like a Lionside Diamond. Play that out. That's Storm 8. Brainstorm is Storm 9. Whatever. Wait. No. So I guess we'll go like Pedal ad nauseam in case they actually do have a Mindbreak Trap, and we can go ad nauseam next turn. No, we'll be mana short, a card short of Threshold, but in all likelihood they have nothing and are dead now. So that was a nice turn 2 kill. Let's just hope we can replicate the form for game 3. I don't hate just leaving things as they are. Yeah. Let's see where it gets us. I always bring in the one Chain of Vapor because a lot of them do have Rurikthar after sideboard, and that's like randomly like our only out to Mr. Thar. They're keeping a 7. I don't think we can keep this, so we're not. Will 5 get us anywhere? Like, having tendrils is almost like a mold of 5. So if we didn't have tendrils in this hand, would this be an acceptable mold of 5? It probably would. Come on with a land. We got one last time. Then again, we lost last time we were in this situation, so. Our opponent is taking their time. Yeah, so also like Chain of Vapor is an out to Rurikthar, but it's also just randomly, it's an out to like stuff they just randomly have. Like yeah, I've talked about it before, the Thorns, Gaddock Teague, whatever. Okay, they're not passing the turn after playing out their turn 1 elf. I'm not sure what that means. Probably just means they are slacking off like they've done so far. Deathrite is annoying. It's not annoying as long as they don't have access to a black mana source, but I can't help but think that they probably do. That they're just bullshitting us. Come on, land. It's not a land. Come on, land. Let's see what they have. They don't have access to a black source. That's Neat. And they have nothing here. They have like a natural order at some stage. Let's see here. They have Ranger. They have Green Sun. They have Heritage. They have Natural Order and they have Cradle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's see how quickly can they get to Natural Order. Next turn they will play out the Ranger, and if we don't give them a fetch land, or if they don't draw one, they will not get. Well, they play Cradle, then they have 2 mana. They can use that to go Heritage Druid. With 1 mana floating. Then they have 3 elves. They make 4 mana. They Natural Order for Rukthar. They can go that. They can do that next turn. Crazy stuff. We hidden land. Yay! Although, so this is where we could brainstorm, hoping to hit like a probe and an infernal tutor or ad nauseam. So what I've just said, right? They go Cradle, tap Forest, Quarian Ranger. Tap Cradle for 2, play Heritage Druid. Have 1 mana floating, tap Heritage Druid, Deathrush Shaman, Quarian Ranger for 3, Natural Order us. And if they just Natural Order for Craterhoof, that's not lethal. But if they have Rurikthar, then we're probably dead to that. So do I go for the Brainstorm and hope for like glory? I need specifically to hit both a probe and one of either Infernal Tutor or Ad nauseam. I think that's pretty much it. And I've already spent a probe. If we don't, then we'll have spent our Brainstorm, have to redraw one of the cards, and then ponder. I guess I don't hate that. So I think I'm going to do that actually. Well, I guess we just have to hope they don't have Rukthar. So we'll put back Tendrils. Like, can they Green Sun for something else? Or like Natural Order for something else and just kill this? Not sure, but we don't want to like get randomly discard this, so we'll put back the Tutor on top and draw that. And I guess we don't want to get surgically extracted on Tendrils, so we'll put back those 2. And then we'll play out, like, I think just both lines of diamonds. I don't think Storm will be an issue if we get to untap again. But I do worry that we are just dead now if they see the line I saw and they have Rukthar. There's the Cradle. There's the Heritage Druid. Okay, so it doesn't really matter which order they played these guys out. Alright, so I gave them the land. I forgot about that. There's the Ranger. Now they can't tap for 3? Oh, never mind. They can. Yep. So they either just, well, they can Green Suns here and then get another creature, so the Cradle taps for 4. So they are in the tank. Do they have Urukthar? Llanowar Elves. So they drew Llanowar Elves. Green Sun's 1. Sure. Does smell like they're just trying to get as big a Urukthar as possible. Hoof as possible, and they hope to kill us in like 2 swings. But I could just be wrong. They might just want to play out all their stuff before getting Urukthar. Well, or will they just get to lethal with the hoof? Well, it's not Urukthar, so hoof becomes a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 becomes a 10-10, and the death threat becomes a 6-7. So they'll attack for 16, and we are at 17. We won't die, but we can't fetch, so that's really unfortunate. Should I have seen that? What we could have done is we could have put like tutor second from the top, and we could have pondered into the tutor without having to crack a fetch. Well, that's a shame. Yep. So, we wouldn't have given for this one of these lands to not be a fetch land. So I think we're dead because I don't think probe can or ponder can show us anything. Like, say we ponder into another tutor. Like we ponder and sack the LEDs. Then we have 6 mana. We'll spend 4 or 2 to tutor, and have 4 floating, not being able to do anything. So if ponder had been brainstorm, but it's not. Oh man, that's too bad. So it looks like a poor start for us. Our hero is down to one of our better matchups. Well, let's ponder. Do we sack LEDs? What can we possibly get out of this ponder if we're not sacking the LEDs? We can't get anything. So let's do that. We will sack for black. And we'll sack for red. Actually, if we do that and we hit a Past in Flames, we have a chance, right? There's no Past in Flames. So we have to shuffle. Hope to draw one of the Past in Flames. And we do. Does this get us anywhere? Now we wish we had saved the tendrils. So Cabal Ritual will Infernal Tutor We'll get a line-side island, I think. We'll probably get stuck, but don't know what else we're doing. So now we have a probe, a ponder, and a brainstorm. So we hope to hit a ritual effect rarity and a tutor and then win. Let's try with the ponder first. There's the ritual. So if we take the ritual, then we brainstorm, get a card deeper. Like ritual makes, we have 5 mana, ritual gives us 8 mana. So we'll use the brainstorm down to 7. Get a card deeper. If we don't have to hit tutor, we get the ponder. We ponder, get 1 card deeper, and then shuffle. I think that's decent, because if we shuffle here and we hit something like if we hit tutor, then we're not golden. It might be wrong, but I think I like doing this. Also, we need the ritual now while we still have threshold. So let's brainstorm. Well, does the land give us anything? The land lets us probe to get our card deeper. Does that matter? I think so. And they just show us the Mindbreak Trap. Oh, we knew they had that. Okay, come on, ponder. Go to work. Yes! That is a thing of beauty. Oh my goodness. Wow. So we win. Put back ad nauseum, put back brainstorm. Say no to shuffle. And tutor like the luck sack we are. Get the tendrils. Who said anything about giving up? Wow. Talk about lucking out. Shuffle into the past in flames. That was it. Good games. Whew. Well, awesome. So that was game number 1 of my leagues match. Won in bravado style with a lot of luck. And let's see what we get for match 2. Alright, so game number 2, or match number 2. Let's see what we're up against. What and who we're up against. James Newstead. Don't know ya, pal. Alright. I'm on the draw again. Yeah, I have a hard time getting away from hands like this. So we're going to keep this. There you go, island. Top. Okay, so miracles. So let's begin with a probe. See what they're on. Well, brainstorm and a counterbalance and a Jace, a Caracas, and a Volk. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's hope we draw land. Don't. Draw another probe. Let's probe again. Therapy. Okay, look, I'm going to brainstorm here, and then I'm just going to go apeshit if I don't draw a land on that, and probably get punished. But we're getting close-ish to natural tendrils. Let's see. Oh, okay. So, time to go apeshit. Or not really, I got my land. I seriously think I should just scoop here. There's nothing we can do. Like if we had had one of the probes by now, if we had saved the second probe, we could have, no, we still couldn't have done anything. Well, sometimes that happens. So we put back empty, because if something comes up, I don't want to show them empty. We put back tutor, I guess. They know we're on storm, so they are for sure, I think at least, just going to slam counterbalance next turn. And even if they don't, we won't get out of this hole we're in for another 3 draw steps. So I am actually just going to concede now. Normally I would play stuff out if I thought there was a mini chance to, but okay, so we're bringing the Sphinx, even though I saw that Caracas, which means they're probably in like a more Legends heavy build of Miracles. Bring in the Crozen Grip, the 4 Decays, and the 2 Pithing Needle. We bring out Dark Petition. Oops. We bring out a couple of LEDs, a couple of Infernal Tutors, the Grim Tutor, a Petal, and a Cabal Ritual. I think actually I like bringing in like leaving in 3 LEDs. LEDs let you get around Flusterstorm if you're going for Empty the Warrens. I think that's it. Let's see if we can Sphinx them up something nice. I would love to be on the play. We have Sphinx in our opening hand, although the rest of our hand is kind of suspect. Double probes. Oh, I would mulligan this. Off color land and all. Yeah, we keep this. It's fine. And probably we bottom that. And I think we just go Tarn go. Tarn probably needs to fetch out Trop to be able to cast the Abrupt Decay and the Crozen Grip. Turn 1 Ponder. The more I think about it, the more I like Pithy Needle here. Like, they don't shuffle. Like, Needle on their top just seems like such a huge play. Pass the turn. I'll save the Brainstorm for next turn, I think. They're just going to slam Counterbalance. Okay. I think we're going to end up turn Decay so we can Brainstorm in safety. Alright. And there's a fetch land. That's nice. Let's Brainstorm before they can get out Red Blast mana. Bunch of lands. Guess we put back 2 lands. And just say go. If we could like top deck into... Yeah, okay. If we could top deck into like an Empty the Warrens, I don't hate doing that, like going... Sorry, just thinking here, like, they are showing us nothing but basics, which could mean that they're trying to be sneaky with a Blood Moon. I mean, Miracles runs like a lot of basics, but Blood Moon could randomly be really bad for us. So I'm just thinking if I should be getting out like a basic here. I think I'll get the basic Swamp. I'm not hating like just go therapy pedal empty. I think I let them attack me here and drop down to 16 just in case like they play out a counterbalance and maybe I want to decay that. Okay, now we're really concerned of them finding a clique. Them tapping, like, I thought I was worried about clique before they played the Caracas, but now they've tapped. So they shuffle, so that's pretty nice. And let's just take this little sucker out. Okay, well, we're into Sphinx territory now, which is nice. And they're just passing the turn. Hopefully that doesn't mean they have clique. Tendrils, sure. Kind of want them to start taking some damage from fetch lands and whatnot. And I think we brainstorm, and I would doubt it if they countered it. They might if they have a counter spell, but I think that's the only card in their hand that they counter brainstorm with here. They had red mana and yeah, if they had red mana, pretty big chance they would blast it. So is there any way we get to natural tendrils here? So we put back this is spell 1. We have to put back 2, but we can probe into one of them. So spell 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tendrils is 8. So we would need them to cast 2 spells. Alternatively, we put back like pedal, fetch, and then probe into something else, and hope that gives us like a brainstorm, like one more brainstorm, or like another tendrils, like our second tendrils. Not sure what's more valuable here, a ritual or a pedal. Maybe we just pass the turn? Maybe we just pass the turn, actually. So this is where they end up turn cliques if they have it, I think. No, they don't. Top is not great for us. Okay, so if we draw this petal, we can probe into another petal. So that would give us petal, 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 that's 3, with the probe 4, double ritual 5, 6, therapy is 7, then they react to that. Oh man, I'm not sure, like, there's a pretty big chance that they will have a flusterstorm. I think we just have to keep up the appearances here and get more cards in our hand so that if we actually, like, we can try for natural tendrils next turn, potentially, but giving them another turn with the top feels super scary. Also, I think I might be tempted to crack the fetch before next draw step to not get that third petal. I just hope not to draw a land off the top, but like another spell that actually is a bit more impactful. There's their red mana, so they have mana for a blast. I think I do that actually. I wonder if they blast the if they would blast like a probe. Past in Flames is not bad. I'm still worried that they might have Clique. Well, they don't have Clique, but they have double Flusterstorm. Okay, let's see here. Double keyboard. My keyboard is kind of not working at selected times. Double Flusterstorm. Force. Counterspell. Jace. Pyro. Pyro. And then a plow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. How to go about beating this. So if we just go out and therapy them, they are just gonna use the regular old counterspell for that. Then we can load up a couple of petals, or yeah, we can load up all our mana spells. Then go for Past in Flames, which they will Flusterstorm or Force. And that leaves us dead because then, like, I don't think we have, like, we will have 4 lands. Petal 1, Petal 2, that's 6 mana. Dark Ritual is 8. Dark Ritual is 10. We'll use the Call Therapy, that's 9. Use Past in Flames, that's 5 floating. They'll force that. Then all we have is Tendrils. We can't flashback Past in Flames because then we won't have any mana floating. So I guess it depends on like what we draw here. Sphinx would be sick. Dark Ritual? Does that change things? So we go 6 mana, 8, 10, 12, 11, 7. Tendrils is 3. I still don't think we get there. We are still depending on them kind of messing things up here for themselves. So we go Dark Ritual. Now we get to 12 mana. Storm is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We cast the Tendrils. 8 mana floating. They fluster that. We therapy. They counter that. I really don't see us getting out of this right now. This problem. Sorry, just not really sure what to do here. We're just burning up all our time. I guess we could therapy them and then play out a petal. Or you could like Dark Ritual, therapy, Past in Flames. So therapy rips out a counterspell because they will counter that. Past in Flames probably gets to take like a Flusterstorm, or I think I actually don't hate that. I mean, we're losing some spells in our hand, but it's not the end of the world. Potentially. Or they might just lose to themselves here and hardcast Force of Will. That would be great. Maybe Not, there's no way they're doing that when they have a regular old counter spell in hand. They're using one of their Fluster Storms. Okay, I'm actually kind of happy about that. So 3 spells has been cast. So there are 4 copies of Fluster Storm. What we could do is just go for rituals here. We have 5 mana. Ritual 2 gets us to 7, then to 9. Then we spend 4. Considering, like, assuming they resolve, we spend 4 to pay for the therapy. But then they can just, then they have to force or counterspell or Fluster Storm. They can't, like, if they force pitching Jace, they leave up either the last Fluster Storm or the last counterspell. If they counterspell, they can't Fluster Storm, they can still force. Then we're fine. I think I'd try that, see how they react to this. They might just fluster this Dark Ritual or force it or something. Do we pay for this? Then when they do, they force pitching Jace. Then we have 2 mana floating. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or we don't pay for it. And then we cast Past in Flames with 9 with 5 mana floating. 5 becomes 6 becomes 7. I think, like, if what we need them to do is either tap out for the counter spell, or we need them to use the second Fluster Storm. And I think what needs to happen is we need them to think that once we've used mana and paid for this Cabal Therapy and they fluster it again, that we won't be able to keep going off. Or the other plan where, like, so if we, I think we let this Fluster Storm happen and not pay for it, and then we cast Past in Flames and hope they use the Fluster Storm. If they do that, then we've won, I think, right? Because we're at Storm 6 right now, so we use Past in Flames at Storm 7. They use a Fluster Storm at Storm 8. Petal is 9. Petal is 10. Tendrils is, will they just have enough? No, they won't. They will only be able to force because they will have used a mana, one of the blue. So they won't be able to both counterspell and Fluster Storm. Yeah. Wow, this is exciting. So if they force of will this, it's not so good. If they fluster or counterspell, it's great. Let's hope we can get them to think that they need to save that they need to not 2-for-1 themselves. They also need to win with something. Come on. I mean, they could let this resolve and then they will die. Oh no! Okay, so what, they pitch Jace. Where do we go from here? So, man, if this was Empty Thorns, I'd be pretty happy about that. We get to make a little mini empty and therapy them. So I guess we could play out a pedal and then try and flashback. Flashback Past in Flames, and then they will like use their counterspell on that. Or we can just say do nothing. I think we'll pass the turn. I think we've lost now, but man, I don't regret doing that because I think they like they had it in them to make a mistake, but they didn't. So sometimes that's how it goes. Sure. So now we need to hit like one of our remaining 3 abrupt decays. Or alternatively, we hit the Sphinx of the Final Word and hope they don't have a land on top. At least they had to pitch the Jace, so there's not a Jace putting pressure on us. We're rebuilding okay here. Like, if we hit the Sphinx or if we hit a decay, we're looking semi-decent, but I worry they have the top, so like they're much more likely to hit a relevant card, I think. And by relevant, I mean a Hate Bear, a Clique, or another counterbalance. Or I guess like a win condition. Infernal Tutor. They're also at a point now where they can have like Snapcaster Mage recast the Flusterstorm. So this feels more like regular style Miracle, so like eventually we'll probably lose like an end of turn entreat. So they are back to having like a full grip now. Things are not looking great for our hero. Okay, so they found something they liked, and they obviously have like a second top. They found Clique. No. Or they just don't mind having like a one on top. They'll draw it on their turn. So I guess they'll probably put tendrils on the bottom here, or just leave us with what we've got. Yeah, they leave us. So now they get to control our draw step with the Clique and Caracas interaction. So it's harsh. It's harsh, man. Let's try probe. Make them rearrange their little top. We're gonna probe Ponder. And there's the Pyroblast. Sure. We'll pass the turn. They will end of turn, bounce their clique, and replay it, I think. I would assume. Or maybe not. That means cracking their fetch now. This is painful. Let's try and play out a pedal. They're thinking about cracking a fetch land to find a 0 on top, I think. They're worried about our tendrils, maybe? I'm not sure. Okay, so there's a land that leaves out Sphinx of the Final Word. Yeah, we've lost this. Oh well. So guess we'll try and probe them just to do something. Make them rearrange the top. Maybe crack a fetch land. Guess not. Whenever someone like rearranges the top that quickly, that means they found what they want. Usually. Yep, we're dead. Suppose we could try and, just for funsies, overload them here. We're basically just making them spend time. They would have to really slack up to mess this up, I think. They even have two tops now, so they can like draw with the one top and then keep the second one around. So I guess they have. Actually, let's keep the red man open just to make them have to respect Passing Flames. Okay, so they have a 1, a 2, and a 0 on top, I would assume. So I drew their meddling mage. It all doesn't matter anyways, because they have like a Fluster Storm plus however many more counterspells they have on in their library, in their hand. So we're just dragging out the inevitable here. Alright. GG's. Alright, so we are 1-1 in this league, and that's it for now. I will be back with the rest of the league as I get to play it out, hopefully during this week. See you around.